what our data over the last 50 years shows us is that we've not been successful with 30 to 40% of our student population in Oregon and across the country.
Every day, if we don't make progress, there's a child that's not being successful that could be.
We know in our state that 50% of our African American and Hispanic children do not graduate. That means that they have an 8 times greater chance of spending at least part of their adult years in prison.
So at stake is their lives, really, because we end up in a cycle of poverty that never ends because we never gave them the tools to succeed.
What we're seeing now is a very powerful movement and initiative in the state to really bring out effective and different strategies to make sure that children of all cultures are successful in our schools.
Over the past 8 years, the Oregon Department of Education has been implementing cultural competency in leadership training and curriculum strategies.
When we say culturally competent leadership in Oregon, what we mean by that is that we have educational leaders at all levels of the system, teacher leaders through superintendents and state leaders, who have an ability and have the skill set to be able to respond to the increased diversity within our schools.
With growing diversity, growing challenges in our schools, our leaders need to have the skills to be successful with every single child. They need to be culturally competent, knowing how to connect with every single child.
Culturally competent leaders work to understand their own biases as well as patterns of discrimination. They have the skills and courage to mitigate the negative effects of prejudice and cultural barriers.
The broader issue of culturally competent practice at all levels of the system is really seen in different ways, but it's all focused on the students. For example, in one high school in Oregon, students are having conversations to eradicate racist language or sexist language or homophobic language from their school setting. We as educators it's incumbent on us to be responsible in learning a new skill set to be able to resonate and be successful with these students. And that's why leadership is really important.
We've been looking at the standards that we have for our administrators and incorporating cultural competency training and support in those practices, in those standards.
Cultural competency issues are discussed and analyzed within principal preparation courses in universities across the state.
We're the only state in the country that has included within the administrative licensure standards that we expect all of our school and district leaders to have the cultural competency and the skill to be able to address the needs of all students.
Among these needs, culturally competent leaders are expected to create environments where language ability does not inhibit learning. Educational leaders in the Beaverton School District face an acute challenge with growing language diversity.
In our school district this year, we've identified 91 different languages and dialects. It's incumbent upon us to make each of those individuals from the various races and cultures and ethnicity feel comfortable here. And it means that we have to understand that culture is a very big factor in allowing that equal access.
As one example of cultural competency, Vose Elementary has a dual language program. This strategy is one of several being tested by Oregon school leaders to close the achievement gap.
¿Qué hicieron ahora en la clase? Vose Elementary is a neighborhood school, and we draw mainly from working class community. About 85% of our students qualify for free and reduced lunch. About 75% are ELLs, or English language learners. We're not a language school per se. We're really a school that uses language as a vehicle. The language is used to instruct and to make sure that kids can succeed and go on to college. As we say here at Vose, college starts here.
I want cloud, and that's an English saying, and I'm going to tell you what it means in a minute. Do you know what the other pattern is? It says ow.
You.
Very good.
The best research-based program that we know for teaching English to young kids is a dual language program.
¿Qué es esto? Gritaron y volvieron a casa.
Instead of saying, oh no, these kids don't speak English, we look at all of the wonderful, rich things they are bringing to the classroom. They have amazing different cultural stories, amazing different linguistic backgrounds, and they have all these experiences that happened in Spanish on the weekend, for example. And by teaching in a dual language program, those experiences are validated, and they're able to carry that wealth of experiences with them through their school experience.
Back to the interview.
Effective leaders provide support and incentives for their teachers to embrace culturally competent practice.
I think that we have the best teachers in the district, if not the state. They know that they get my full support. They have autonomy to do what they need to do. But of course, there's guidance that I provide them. I've been a classroom teacher for many years before getting into administration. It really points to what we need to be teaching those kids, and you guys are finding that, which is amazing.
Our principal, Mr. Flores, is such a great advocate for the program, creating time for teachers to meet and plan together and professional development to support the kind of work that we're doing.
Our next habit of mind, we talked about already, perseverance, which means
Never give up.
good. And we talked about
When it comes to literacy, language arts, mathematics, our kids are on par, in many cases doing better than kids in other schools who do not receive a program like ours. In La Playa también, we have waiting lists of parents who want to come to our school because of the dual immersion program. That's true for the language minority students as well as for native English speakers who are part of the program who are learning a second language.
he was like, I am in school.
There is nothing as important as bringing effective instruction to scale so that every single student can benefit. So we are all about strengthening the instructional core. So we have to pay close attention to what our teachers and our administrators are doing in schools where they're making a difference. It's individualized education, and it requires individual planning for every child. It is amazing what kids are capable of once you open the floodgates and remove the barriers to access to a high-quality education.
I think one of the biggest challenges in changing how we prepare people to be leaders and strong, effective leaders in our schools is changing how we even think about what's possible. That all children can be successful in school. We don't have to live with an achievement gap. We don't have to have lower standards for children who are poor or children who don't have English as a first language. All children can be successful in school if we do our part to give them the support and have high expectations for all children.